Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm partnering up with Fairhaven Health to give you a review of some of their breastfeeding products and postpartum products that they have on their website. So I did a review of their products when I was pregnant, most of which I loved and used throughout my pregnancy. So I was really excited when they asked me to review some of their other products. Just like any other review video that I do on this channel, you guys know that my opinions are 100% honest. Anytime I work with a company, it's actually in my contract that I'm allowed to give honest feedback, constructive criticism. If I don't like the products, I don't like the products. So you guys can trust the opinions 100%. With that being said, there is a huge giveaway. Fairhaven Health is giving away one of each of the products that I'm reviewing. So one of you will be winning everything mentioned in the video today. You have to stay to the end of the video to hear what you have to do to win. Let's go ahead and jump into the review.
Every time it rains pennies from heaven. Don't you know each cloud contains pennies from heaven? You'll find your fortune falling all over town. Just make sure that your umbrella is upside down.
The first thing up for review are these Milky's Softies breast pads. So I had a hard time finding breast pads that I really liked. I was using the Event disposable ones and the Lancino disposable ones. I really liked the idea of disposable because it seemed cleaner to me, but it was a pain to have to carry a whole box of them around in your purse or have the stash of them around your house, and then you constantly have those wrappers everywhere, and they give your boobs a really weird shape. So I didn't really like that, but I had bought some other reusable breast pads, and after a couple washes, the inside of them got really scratchy. And the biggest problem, because I'm still using a nipple balm on my nipples after each feed, I found with the other reusable pads that I was using before, my nipples would almost kind of stick to the breast pad as the nipple balm was drying up. And then anytime you opened the bra to nurse, you had this sort of like as you're peeling your hardened nipple balm off your nipples. And when someone is still getting used to having another baby, nursing on them, the last thing you want is something yanking at your nipples. So what I really liked about these was a couple of things. One, they wash really well. There's 3 in a pack, I believe. Yeah, 3 pairs, 6 pads. So I'm doing laundry like every 2 to 3 days to make sure that I have enough. And they wash really well. The inside lining is a bamboo rayon lining. So it's super soft, but after a bunch of washes, it still stays super soft, which is really nice. They're really absorbent. I can say for sure that they absorb at least half an ounce to almost an ounce of breast milk, and I'll talk about why I know that amount when I'm reviewing some other product. So they're very absorbent. They do give you a slightly like coned breast look, but way better than anything else that I had tried, including the disposable ones, including other reusable ones. Of the breast pads, these give you a really natural shape. The next thing they had me review was this nipple nurture balm. So I had been using the Earth Mama Angel Baby, I think it's called, nipple butter, but I used that up, and so I started using this. And I saw no difference. I love the Earth Mama Angel Baby one, and I love this one just as much. It's all organic, it's lanolin free. You don't have to wipe it off before you nurse your baby again, which is nice. And it's totally organic. So it's just like a thick, yellowish balm, and it melts really nicely into the skin. It's very soothing and moisturizing, and I found it lasts a long time, which is nice. This next product was probably the one I was most skeptical about. Like when I opened the package, I was like, I don't know if I would ever use this. It's the Milky's Milk Saver Save Every Last Drop. And when I brought this out, I was like, come on, this is huge. Like, who would ever use this? Then I realized that was just the case. But even when I opened this, I thought this is pretty cumbersome. I don't know if this is something that's realistically usable on like a nursing day-to-day basis. Let me tell you, of all the stuff that I reviewed, I think I love this the most out of all of them. It's so cool. So it's this silicone reservoir, and it's got a little hole so you stick your nipple through there onto like inside of your bra when you're nursing on the other side. So this isn't something that you would travel with. This is something if you're nursing at home that you use. And then you put this at the top so you don't spill anything. So you kind of stick it in your bra over your nipple. So say I'm nursing on this side, I insert it here into my bra, I nurse on this side, and what it does is it collects all of the milk that just naturally kind of flows out of the other nipple when you're having letdown. So normally that would just kind of leak into your bra. And I have lower flow, and so I thought, I don't know how much I'm even gonna get. I'm expecting maybe a couple drops. It's insane how much milk you get. On my right side, if I'm nursing on my left side, on my right side, I will get like half an ounce of milk from just leakage. And that really adds up for you mamas who have to go back to work and you're pumping, or if you are breastfeeding but you have a partner sometimes supplementing with a bottle, like that will add up pretty quickly in a day. And on the left side, which is my really low flow breast, I'm still getting about 1/4 of an ounce every single feed. I have completely fallen in love with this. When I'm nursing at home, I use this all the time because I think, hey, pumping, it's not always something that's convenient that you have time to do, especially when you have another child that you're looking after. This is a way to collect milk without having to pump, which is really, really cool. The only thing I will say is the first milk out of your breast is the least fatty amount of milk. The idea is that the first bit of milk that happens in a letdown is to really just hydrate the baby. Then as you get into the last part of the nurse, that's when you get all the really fatty milk. So the milk that's first coming out that you're going to be collecting in this, it's going to have a little bit less fat content than the hind milk would, but it's still collecting milk and milk still counts, so win, win, win. In terms of what you're storing all that milk in, they sent me the Milky's milk tray. So this is really cool. It's like an ice cube tray. So basically you take that reservoir of breast milk and you pour it into these little containers, boobsicles if you will, and it gives you a little line. Each container is exactly an ounce, and the neat thing about this is it saves on space in your freezer. You don't have to worry about saving 4 ounces at a time. You can fill one of those big freezer bags with all of these little boobsicles and it'll save a lot of space, and then you can mark that one, you know, May or June or whatever month you collected all that milk in. So if you have a freezer that doesn't have a lot of space but you want to save your breast milk, this is a really cool way to do it. And you can customize the amount that you want to melt. So say you only want to heat up, you know, 3 ounces or 2 ounces or 5 ounces or whatever, you can just count one little boobsicle as 1 ounce. So it's really easy to measure out. And because they're in smaller amounts, they're going to melt faster as well, which means you can get that bottle ready a little bit faster. The only thing I will say, there's a little bit of a learning curve. This tray, it doesn't leak out of the tray, but each little milk thing leaks a little bit into the next one, I found at least. So at first what I was doing was after each feeding, I was pouring the milk into the tray and just storing it in the fridge with the lid on, obviously, with the idea that once it was full, I would move it into the freezer. But what I found is every time I was taking it in and out of the fridge, I would spill a little bit of the milk. So the better way to do it, I found, was to keep it in the freezer, take it out of the freezer, add your next little boobsicle, close the lid, and put it right back in the freezer. That way the milk that you already have stored in here doesn't spill. So once I figured that out, the learning curve, then it was no big deal. I don't have any spills anymore, but that is a tip that I would give you guys. And this comes with 2 reusable trays. So that's 16 ounces that you can store. If you prefer to go the traditional breast milk storage bag, there are these traditional breast milk storage bags. Now, I use the Medela ones. I have used Lansino as well in the past, and I was happy with the Medela. I was like, okay, this is the same thing, like, no big deal. But what I really like about these bags is I find the Medela ones a little bit hard to close. It's a little bit hard to tell if the Ziploc part is closed or not, and I always have to like carefully sort of see if it'll leak. It's hard to really kind of feel, but with these bags, it's really easy. You can feel as you're closing it, the Ziploc part of it is really, really easy to feel. So it's got a good texture to it. You can tell that it's locked and loaded. It gives you measurements in ounces and milliliters, but this is the best part. It gives you a storage guide of how long it's good for, because I always forget how long it's good for when it's like fresh out of the boob versus when it's been in the fridge versus when it's been frozen and then thawed, and if it's frozen, how long can it be frozen for? So I'm forever Googling it to see if my milk's gone bad, but it has the storage times right on the bag. So you can have the name, the date that you pumped, the volume, so how much is in this bag, and then it'll tell you, okay, a cooler with frozen ice packs, it's good for 24 hours. In the freezer, it's good for up to 12 months at 4 degrees Celsius or lower. So it has it right on the bag. So there's no guesswork. You don't have to Google anything. It's right there for you. So I'm exclusively using these Milky's bags now, and I love them. And the next 2 products help with breast milk production. So the first one is the Nursing Blend Breastfeeding Supplement. So it's a vitamin, mineral, and herbal support. It helps to increase your milk supply. It helps to keep your flow optimal. and I had supply issues. I'm on domperidone prescription, so full disclosure, I do have a lower milk supply, and I was taking Blessed Thistle and fenugreek, 3 pills 4 times a day, because you have to take a lot of that stuff to see a difference, and I wasn't really seeing much of a difference, so my doctor put me on domperidone. So I am on a prescription to help boost my supply, but I did notice when I was just on the domperidone, Cohen didn't really want to nurse on the left, but he would take the right. Since I started taking these for about 3 weeks, he'll kind of happily nurse on both sides. I'm still producing way more on the right, but he will nurse on both sides. So I think that means that this is working really nicely. The pills are not too big. They're gel caps, so they're really easy to swallow. I can take them on an empty stomach. They never hurt my tummy. So I've been taking those for about 3 weeks now. You take 1 pill 3 times a day, and I really like them. And the last thing is a nursing time tea. So you guys know that I love my tea. This is a loose leaf organic tea, and loose leaf is a much higher quality of tea than the traditional ground up tea bags that you get. I love loose leaf tea, especially caffeine free, because I can't have any caffeine with Cohen's reflux diet. If you like green tea, you're gonna love this. This is caffeine free, so it's not green tea, it's an herbal tea, but it has a similar taste to a green tea. Green tea is not my favorite type of tea, so for this reason, I mean, I'm pretty much done the bag, so I obviously liked it enough. But I wouldn't say it was my absolute favorite, but that's just because I happen to not be a huge fan of the green tea flavor. But if you are, you will love it. I'd say I liked it, I just wouldn't say I loved it. So that is it. Those are all the products. All in all, a really positive review. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to Fairhaven Health for sponsoring this video. And I will see you guys in the next one. I feel like I talked really fast in this video, but I felt like it was a lot of information that I wanted to get out, and I wanted to make sure it wasn't a 20-minute video.